What came first, the chicken or the egg? First, I think we have to take a step back and circle back. If it's an egg that is laid by a chicken, then we know the chicken has to come first. But if it's an egg that created the first chicken, then that does changes things, don't it?
That does change things, actually. That's a good point. I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is what's an egg and where did it come from? And lucky for you, I did some research. So the first egg came 310 million years ago. But obviously, we're not talking about when the first egg came from. We're talking about the first chicken egg and whether it was a chicken or whether it was an egg.
We could have had a gradual kind of evolution where we have the red jungle fowl, as you're familiar with, if you've done your research, right? Primarily originated in Myanmar, Thailand, and if I want to be naughty, some parts of China. Because it's an evolution and it's gradual, then we'll kind of see maybe in one point of time, like one part of an evolution version of the jungle fowl lays an egg, and then that version kind of looks like a chicken, right? Kind of like how, for example, right, two black people, they can birth an albino kid. It doesn't look like them, right? But that just kind of happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the albino person is not a different species. Going back to that interesting point you brought up about evolution, we know that mammals started laying eggs about 310 million years ago until they transitioned into giving birth. My thinking here is that maybe humans evolved from the chickens. Did humanity come from the chickens?
Take a step back, take like a jump back actually. Instead of, let's say, a small portion of the jungle fowls changing over generations, right? Consider it that each generation, let's say that separated from the flock and started eating flax seeds and collagen, like my mom would recommend, then each version beforehand would look identical as the chicken. So this classification boundary isn't, let's say, a dramatic biological event, but it would slowly then transition to the chicken wings that I can buy on Facebook Marketplace for $25 in the tin.
Yeah, on that note, I wanted to ask, would you rather not eat chicken or not eat eggs again for the rest of your life?
Well, eggs is in everything in it. I think I'll
Yeah,
never eat chickens again.
yeah, I agree because I like duck, so I could just eat the duck, and even though it doesn't taste like chicken, I'll still enjoy it. Is a chicken egg that contains a chicken or an egg that was laid by a chicken? But does that really mean that the egg came first?
I think in all parts of the universe is like every universe, right? So we can have the Tom Holland universe, the Andrew Garfield universe, or the Tobey Maguire universe. I think in all universes you'll have the egg coming first. But what if, right, that chicken was like, hey, shit, there's no one to mate with here. Can that red jungle fowl then cross the Myanmar border, go to Vietnam, where the North Vietnamese Viet Cong red jungle fowls are? That could have been where the first chickens were made, right? By like crossbreeding.
So the chickens probably migrated because maybe there was war in the chickens or better food in Vietnam. Also, if you look at the Bible and creating animals, it says that the first chicken didn't even come from an egg. If you're following God's word, it would not even be the egg that created the chicken. It would be God that created the chicken. So the chicken and the egg argument's pretty much settled by Jesus.
Mm.
Okay, so it seems like we haven't quite figured out if the chicken came first or the eggs, but maybe a more interesting question to me is why are some people allergic to eggs if humans themselves come from eggs in our moms?
The the shell of an egg isn't the same as the shell of a human, right? So I
Yeah,
think
but if it's all a bunch of cells that we come from, it doesn't make sense that some people are allergic to their very own being.
but it's not the
Because
same as a chicken and like a human. It's
how are the people allergic to the chicken eggs, but they still eat chicken? Make that make
unfertilized
sense.
is
I wanted to ask, Why do we call a cow beef, a pig pork, but chicken is still chicken? That stumped you, huh? Lot to think about.
Well, there's a word for bird meat, game, right?
I don't really know. Well, if chicken has salmonella, how is that possible if it's a bird and not a fish? Because it has salmonella, but it's obviously not a fish.
But what came first, salmonellas or salmon?
Well, I think the salmonellas are smaller. So just looking at evolution, the small things usually evolve first.
I'm talking
But,
about the disease that chicken have has.
well, I think we can both agree that this is inconclusive, and we may never know if the chicken or the egg came first.
Which one do you want to believe?
I'd like to believe that the egg came first as the eternal source of life for the chicken.
Would you rather be an egg or a chicken?
I would like to be an egg so I don't have to think.